Hi, I'm Beth Norcross. I direct the Center for Spirituality and Nature. It's been a tough week, month, year for the nation, for the world. It feels like, as Carrie Newcomer says in that beautiful song, that we're on the brink of everything. It feels like we're on the cusp, doesn't it? On a threshold between two worlds, and a world that was old and familiar, for better or not, and a new world that's out there that's just beyond our grasp. Well, in the ecological world, there's a name for that. It's called the edge effect, and it's where two ecosystems come together and form its own ecosystem along the edge. I'm sitting at such a place. You can see the pond behind me meeting the woods. And there's that edge, that it's its own place, its own threshold. It's a very interesting place ecologically. It gets a lot more light, a lot more sun. The temperature is different. It's more exposed. It's also more risky for critters that venture in here from the woods and out of the safety of the pond, because it is so open and so vulnerable. But it's also a very rich area ecologically. Resources from the forest and the pond intermix and meet, as do species. There are forest creatures that come down here, raccoons and all manner of different chipmunks and squirrels. The other day I saw a tanager and a cuckoo and an indigo bunting all sipping together down at the pond, without conflict, by the way. There are also many different aquatic insects and animals that come out as well, frogs in particular and salamanders creeping out of the pond to sun themselves, to get warmth. This rich and risky place, how do the critters manage here? And can we take some lessons from them? Robin Wall Kimmerer, that wonderful author of Braiding Sweetgrass, said that we should look to our ancestors for wisdom, those who have been on the earth a lot longer than we. The birds who have probably been here 60 to 100 million years, and the frogs and salamanders almost twice that time, as opposed to us who've been here only a couple 100,000. What can we learn from them about living on the threshold? Well, I've been spending some time down here at the pond, and I've been watching them, and I've made a few observations. First of all, they're very bold to be there. It takes courage to be out in this space. Secondly, when they're here, they're here. I don't have a sense that they're giving any thought to tomorrow or the next week or the next month or the next year. They immerse themselves in this place, in the richness of this threshold. Thirdly, they're very vigilant when they're here. They have to be. And so they listen. They listen very, very carefully to their own species, to other species. Particularly, they listen to the cries, because the cries tell them that there's danger. There's a predator around that needs to be paid attention to. And lastly, it seems that the critters and creatures that venture into this edge are accessing a deep knowing. The ecologists call this instinct. I might call it divine mystery or God. You might have other names for it. As we sit in this threshold place, this difficult, challenging place between two worlds, can we follow the example of our fellow critters and creatures, our ancestors, our older brothers and sisters? Can we be bold? Can we be here when we're here and not worried about the future? Can we listen to others, particularly their cries? And can we make space and time to access that deep knowing and follow its wisdom?